Hi, my name is Fred Newman. I'm the owner of the View Camera Store, and today I'd like to talk about pre-soaking versus no pre-soaking when you're processing your film, and that goes for sheet film or roll films. Now, the only method I'd recommend when no pre-soaking is when you use the BTZS tubes. They were described in a previous video did a couple of years ago. Now, with the BTZS tubes, what you do is you have 2 ounces of developer for each tube, and when you start the developing, you actually shake the tubes vigorously for about 10 seconds. The emulsion is immediately coated, and there's really no need to pre-soak, and you're continuously agitating the tubes by spinning. And this is what the test, basically how the results look. So we're doing 400 T-Max, the new one, number 2, in 4x5. The speed is 400. The developer uses Ilford DDX. The dilution I normally use is 1 + 9 at 75 degrees. As people know, I'm in Arizona, and we've got 85, 90 degree cold water in the summer, so we don't have a lot of choices. And these were done again with the BTZS tubes. So there's actually no pre-soak, and the results you get are right here. Let me just show you. It's easier to understand the subject brightness range curve because we're looking usually for if 7 is our normal, you can see the solid line right here. We're usually looking to get at least out to 9, which a subject brightness range of 9, which would be 2 stops more contrast than normal, and at least down to a 5, which is 2 stops less contrast than normal. Most film and developers can do that, but you may have to adjust the dilution in order to do that. So with this film, it was no problem to get all this here. So let's see how the film speeds look. And the nice thing I like about the Ilford DDX, you get incredible film speeds. As you can see, we're a little bit past 400. So when people say, I'm cutting the film speed in half, it all depends on the film and developer combination you're working with. With Ilford DDX, you tend to get incredible film speeds. And it's just even a little bit more than your normal 400. So that's one of the reasons I like it. Especially when you're doing night photography, it gives you that little extra edge. So this was done at 1:9 with the tubes. The next test I'm going to go over with you is the same exact film combination, 400 T-Max, and this is done in a Jobo processor with a 5-minute pre-soak. Now, pre-soaking you will want to do with processors like a Jobo because the chemical, the developer that is, comes in slowly as you're pouring it in, and it slowly coats. So you do want to do a 5-minute pre-soak. The same way if you're doing like roll films in a hand tank and you're doing intermittent agitation, with inversions, when you pour the developer into the hand tank, it takes a little bit of time to get into the tank. So you do want to do a 5-minute pre-soak with these. And I remember a conversation with Phil Davis a long time ago about the fact that when you do pre-soak versus no pre-soak, you can get changes in film speeds, changes in developing times, and you'll see what happened when I went to doing the same exact film combination, and I had to change my dilution, and I'll show you in a few minutes. Hi, I'm back again. Now with the second part of the video here, we're doing the same film, same developer, but what happens was when I went to 1:9 dilution, the contrast was way too great, so I just bumped up the dilution for the Ilford DDX to 1 part developer, 12 parts water, same temperature. This time it was continuous agitation, the same thing in a Jobo processor using the Expert 3010 drums. So very similar, and now let's click OK here, and let's look at what results we got. The same kind of thing. You could see subject brightness range of 7, similar developing time. Again, we want to get out to a subject brightness range of 9, and then down to a subject brightness range of 5. No problem with either of these developers. The only thing I did do was increase the amount of developer per area of film. So I went to 4 ounces per area, so I just doubled the amount of developer because Ilford DDX, when you go beyond 1/9, you really got to increase it because it loses strength. So one of the things I said, I had a conversation with Phil Davis many years ago, and one of the things you could find is when you're doing the same film, the same developer, pre-soak versus no pre-soak, you could change I had to change the dilution here in order to do it. Let's take a look at the film speeds. The film speeds are quite similar, but not exactly the same as the last time. We're still getting pretty close for normal in the 400 and a little bit more range. The film speed was a little bit closer here before, so the quickest way to find out the information is just to do a BTZS film test, get you all the information. And just because they say you can't do it, it doesn't mean you can't. In other words, if they say no pre-soak, I would just try it. I mean, what do you got to lose? A couple of sheets of film. But basically, that doesn't matter whether you're doing it one way or the other, but depending on the method that you're doing, if it's the BTZS tubes, you definitely don't need a pre-soak. But if you're doing Jobos, in a tray or any kind of other developing methods, I definitely recommend a 5-minute pre-soak and that'll get you the best results, because the developer comes on too slowly and you could get a little streaking or other problems. So it's what I would recommend. I hope this helps understand a little bit better. And again, if you really want to get the best results, a film test won't take you that long. It's just 5 sheets of film. If you have any questions, just please email me. Thank you again for watching.